Travel is all sunsets, cocktails, and picture-perfect views until it isn't. I thought I was a seasoned pro until I made these 10 catastrophic mistakes that cost me thousands and nearly broke me. Trust me, you don't want to learn these the hard way. Let's dive into my top 10 travel disasters and how you can avoid ending up like me. Number 10, the Bankruptcy Airline. Picture this, you find business class flights from Melbourne to London for a fifth of the price. 1,200 Australian dollars, business class. I thought I'd hacked the system. Turns out all I had hacked was my bank account. The airline went bankrupt, gone, poof, the third-party booking site, they couldn't care less, and the insurance hit us with fine print knockout that bankruptcy was not included. Lesson learned, book with reliable airlines and read the fine print on your insurance, and don't think that it won't happen to you because you never know. But hey, at least I hadn't lost $2,000 and been abandoned at a Costa's coffee cafe yet. But I'll get to that. Number 9, the couch bed deception. I booked a room, 3 adults, 3 beds. Simple, right? Wrong. I walked into the room and there it was, 2 beds and what can only be described as a sad, depressed couch. Not a pull-out couch, just a couch, like someone had just dragged it in from a waiting room. One of us had to sleep on it like a Victorian orphan, questioning every single life choice that led us to this moment. The lesson learned here is just read the room descriptions like your life depends on it. That lovely photo, it's probably not your room. And if you think that's bad, wait until you hear about the beachfront hotel that wasn't actually on the beach. Number 8, the fake beachfront hotel. I saw the map, I saw the word beachfront, I had dreams of rolling out of bed into the ocean. Turns out I ended up rolling out of bed into a 20-minute hike uphill in 35-degree heat. The beach was visible in the distance like a mirage mocking me. The lesson learned here is zoom in on those maps. Satellite view is going to be your best friend. Number 7, the midnight flight disaster. Here's a fun one. Midnight flight. We turn up to the airport packed and ready. 24 hours late. Because 0010 doesn't mean tomorrow night, it means tonight. Military time betrayed us. Cue frantic rebooking, existential despair, and another $300 down. Lesson learned here is if your flight says 0010, just double check the date. Time is a cruel mistress. Number 6, the wrong train express. I was in London, fresh off a flight, ready to get to my accommodation. Easy. I follow the crowds onto the train, except it was the wrong train. An express train, straight past my stop to the middle of nowhere with a ticket that didn't work at the other end. Cue the walk to the station staff explaining that I was a tourist and just frankly an idiot. The lesson learned here is always read the signs, and if you can't hear the announcements, don't wing it, just ask for help. The station staff 9 out of 10 times are pretty happy to help tourists. Speaking of, have you ever gotten on the wrong train or ended up miles from where you were meant to be? Drop your story in the comments because I need to know that I am not alone. Number 5, the tour that never happened. I booked a tour through an international third-party site. They charged us for the tour in full. The tour was never confirmed. It didn't happen. The best part, 2 months of email warfare just to get our money back and $500 in conversion fees gone. The lesson learned here, multi-currency cards are lifesavers, and maybe just don't pay for tours that haven't been confirmed yet. Number 4, cheap flight to the wrong airport. We found a cheap flight to Belgium. Turns out it was cheap because the airport was practically in a different country. What felt like a 3-hour bus ride to Brussels later, we were rethinking all of our life's choices. Lesson learned, Google that airport distance before you get the cheap flights. Just double check that you're booking at the right airport. Number 3, the currency switch scam, sort of. I booked a hotel. I assumed the price was in Australian dollars. Turns out it was in US dollars, and our bank took a generous $50 cut for the currency conversion. The stay was fine, the bill not so much. It ended up being $1,150 over budget. Lesson learned, always check the currency. Wise cards have since saved my life and my wallet multiple times over. Number 2, the taxi versus train showdown. I booked train tickets for 4 people in London. I was feeling smart. I was feeling like I was saving a ton of money until I realized a taxi just would have been cheaper, faster, and far less stressful. The lesson learned here, compare your transport options. Sometimes Uber is your friend, especially if you're traveling in large groups. Number 1, the Costa coffee meltdown. We were flying from London to the small Greek island of Chios, where my family's from. Simple, right? Wrong. We didn't plan for traffic. We spent too long shopping in London. Our taxi driver actually laughed at us when we asked if we would make our flight. He dropped us off at a Costa's cafe where we stayed for 5 hours, crying into overpriced lattes and frantically trying to rebook. The lesson learned here, always plan your departure like your life depends on it. The replacement flights cost us $2,000, 48 hours to reach the island, and 4 different stopovers later, we were finally there. We got there in the end. Now that you know how to avoid these travel disasters, you're going to want to know how to spot some sketchy tourist traps. Because if you don't, you might end up like Daniel, dangling in a wicker basket over mountains, questioning all your life choices. Watch his dramatic hot air balloon story right here. Trust me, it'll make my disasters look like a walk in the park compared to his.